All right, fifth graders, we are here for Equations and Expressions Part 2. We're going to start by doing one more definition. We're going to talk about the definition of an equation. We talked about expressions, we talked about numeric expressions, word expressions, algebraic expressions, and now we're going to talk about an equation. The definition of an equation is a mathematical statement containing two expressions separated by an equal sign. So when we have an equation, it's when we have two expressions and they are on both sides of an equal sign. So here's a couple examples of equations. In here you can notice we have the expression 3x and we have the expression 6 and we have our equal sign, which makes that an equation. In this case we have 3y plus 4, which is an algebraic expression. On that side we have another algebraic expression and we have an equal sign. And with this one, the same thing. Two expressions connected with an equal sign is considered an equation. So if we talk about the difference between an expression and equation, I want you to pause the video right now, and I want you to think about what the biggest difference would be between an expression and equation, and then come back and check and see how your thoughts match. Okay, so an expression. In an expression, it is written as a phrase. It does not have an equal sign. It cannot be solved. You can evaluate an expression by plugging in a variable and simplifying it, but you cannot solve an expression. Then you have an equation. An equation is written as a sentence. It uses an equal sign to compare two values, and it can be solved. So when somebody says solve for x, you are solving an equation. When you say evaluate if x equals 4, you are simplifying an expression. So one thing I want you to add to your expressions is that evaluating would be also called simplifying, and that equations are what you solve. So that is a major difference between the two of them. All right, so what I want you to do is, in your notebook, I want you to write down the equations that you see on this page. So I want you to write down any of these that you see that are equations. And tomorrow in class, we will go through and we will check and see if you wrote down the ones that are equations. So pause your video now and write those down. Okay, one more little bit of information that you will need to know. When you are looking at word expressions, or in this case you're looking at word equations, there are key terms that suggest there's an equal sign. You want to make sure you recognize these terms because this is what will tell you if you were writing an expression or if you were writing an equation. So for example, we have 8 is the sum of 8 and 3. The words is the sum suggest that it is an equal sign. 100 is as much as 5 $20 bills. Is as much suggests an equal sign. 32 is the same as the product of 2 and 6. Is the same as means equals. 67 is identical to 33 plus 34. A number x plus 10, and in this one they say is equal to, so you know right there what expressions would go on each side. A number plus 32 gives you 81, and 25 equals the sum of. So recognizing these in written expression or in written statements will help you determine expressions versus equation. Okay, now we're going to do a series of activities. I'm going to go through a series of slides. I'm going to keep them up for a couple seconds. I want you to pause them, and I want you to solve them in your notebook. When you come to school tomorrow, we will go through these slides and see how you're doing on these. So on the left side, we have word phrases, and in each box or within each box, each of these word phrases means the exact same algebraic expression. So I want you to go ahead and read through the 4 word phrases, and I want you to determine the algebraic expression. So I'm going to pause the video, you pause the video, and do these 4 problems. All right, activity number 2. We have some more word phrases. In this one, I want you to write the algebraic expression on the left-hand side that match the word phrases on the right-hand side. Pause the video and go ahead and do those. 2 more expressions to write. Read these 2 word phrases and write the expressions. Okay, and now we're going to reverse it. In this one, they give you the algebraic expression. I want you to come up with a word phrase to describe those 4 algebraic expressions. All right, and now we are going to flip over to some equations. So in this one, in each sentence below, I want you to circle the key words or phrases that indicate a mathematical operation and write the symbol for the operation above the words or phrases. So you're looking for key words or phrases that match mathematical symbols, adding, subtracting, equals, multiplying, dividing. Write it above and then write the equation under, or write each equation in your notebook. And once again, we have 2 more equations for you to write. So read these word phrases and write your equations. And for this one, I want you to look at each equation and I want you to write a verbal sentence, a written sentence that matches the equation. And that's it. Once you go ahead and finish these, I have an 8-problem quick quiz on the Moodle for you to do, so if you can go ahead and do that Moodle. Tomorrow in class, we will go through all of this and see how secure we are at our expressions and equations. See you tomorrow.